Alright guys, today I've got a quick video here. This is, well, actually it's probably not going to be quick. It might be a little bit long. But we're going to talk to you about my Droid Razr HD. You know, I haven't done a video on this thing in a long time, so this is kind of exciting. This device finally got KitKat updated to it. And I'm going to show you guys how to update to KitKat, whether you're on a custom ROM, whether you have an unlocked bootloader, whether you're using SafeStrap. However you're running your system right now, I'm going to show you guys how to get it updated to the official KitKat. And it should be a pretty fun video here. So first thing I want to do is just show you guys what I have right now. Right now I'm on Jelly Bean Android 4.1.2. I'm on system version, right there's the important part right there in the front, is 9.30.1.xt926 Verizon Droid Razr HD. Now you don't have to be technically on this build to do it. The system version, because we're going to install that system version in this process. Alright, so everybody understands what we're working with. Now you can have a custom recovery installed right now. You could have SafeStrap, any of that things, that's fine. If you did have SafeStrap, go ahead and delete the ROM slots you've created and just activate stock ROM slot. Otherwise, that's the information I can give you there. Be prepared that this process may wipe out your data and you may lose your data, so be ready for that. And also be prepared that when you do this to get updated to KitKat, you will lose root access at this point, because you can't apply this update with root access, unfortunately. Alright, so we've kind of gone through some basic information, so let's go ahead and plug this thing into my computer. That's going to be one of the first steps we're going to do here. So let me just plug it in really quick. There we go. And it should be connected. Should be a good thing. Yeah. Alright. So let's go over to my computer here and let's shoot to these files on the side and show you what we're working with. Alright, so basically this is the OTA update right here, this file. And we need to put it on our device. So right now I have debugging turned on. Your computer can't see your device with USB debugging, so I'm going to turn it off. And then I'm going to take this file, which is the OTA update right here. I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to place it in my Droid Razr. And on my external SD card, it is important you have to have an external SD card for this to work. And just paste it right here in the root of the SD card. So this is copying over. While that's happening, let's go back. And let's do some other things. So the other thing you're going to have to download, obviously all these files you're going to have to download before you start this process. But the other thing you're going to want to download is this right here, which is the stock SBF file or AP Fastboot file, whatever you want to call it, that will put you on that 9.30.1 system version. So we're going to click on it and go ahead and extract it. And I'll give you guys links to everything, so don't worry about that. You won't have any issues with that. And this tool I'm using right here is 7-zip. That's how I extract all of my applications and zips and all that kind of stuff. So a nice little application. You can download it for free. Just Google 7-zip. It's all over the place. Alright, so that's done. And we have this. Now obviously you're going to need to have your drivers installed to do most of this stuff. So I have 32-bit drivers and 64-bit drivers, and I'll give you guys links to all the drivers you're going to need as well. And if you've done any hacking to your device, you probably already have them. You don't need to really watch this video if you haven't, because you just take the normal over-the-air update anyway. There's no reason to go through all this process. Alright, so we've got that file extracted. We've got the other thing copied to our device. We can go back and double check it. It should be there. There it is. So that's a good thing. And we'll go ahead and what we want to do is we're going to take this RSD script generator and we just want to copy it into the folder right here that we created, and then just click on it and hit up here, click on the XML file that's listed, hit generate, hit OK, and that just generated this file right here. Alright, so what we're going to end up doing right now is we're going to be flashing this device right here in AP Fastboot mode and flashing it to this firmware. That'll restore the original stock recovery. It'll restore everything back to stock so we can take this OTA update and get KitKat on our device. So you're going to open up RSD Lite, which is another program you're going to be downloading, and I will definitely show you guys this and links and all that kind of goodies. So just click on this button, find where that file is, and click on the Universal XML. And then what we got to do is we got to get our device into AP Fastboot Mode, and so RSD Lite can visually see it and flash to it. So to do that, what we got to do is go ahead and unplug your cable for a second, power off your device. Okay. Then what we're going to do is we're going to hold the volume up and down and power as soon as it powers off. It's very important that you firmly press the volume up and down, then power button, and just hold it for a second. And this thing was giving me fits earlier about this. Now I do have an unlocked bootloader on this device, so let's see if I can get this to work. Volume up, volume down, power, just for a second, and there you go. That time it did function. So scroll down. Oh, if you don't hit any options in there quick enough, it does actually go away, and you have to try it again. It just does a normal start if you don't hit any buttons, but you got to scroll down and then you scroll up to select when you're in bootloader mode like that. So, like I said, this is a little tricky. You got to be quick and understand it. So let's just try it one more last time here. Volume down, volume down. AP Fastboot is selected there, hard to see. Volume up to select it, and this puts us in AP Fastboot mode. And now we can go ahead and plug in our cable. Alright, so we're all plugged in. Now it's very important here that you do not use a USB hub on the other end of this cable. It's also very important you don't plug into a 3.0 USB port. It needs to be a 2.0, so if it's that blue port, don't use it, you need a black port. Alright, so two very important things. And then your drivers should install here. If you haven't already installed these drivers, they'll install. And then you can see mine is already showing up here in RSD Lite. Right here it is. It says it's connected. It says Fastboot Vanquish is its code name and connected. Alright, so here is where we're going to have some fun. Now, just so you guys understand, this process is actually the exact same process to unbrick your device. Okay? If you've ever seen a video on that, or my video on that, we're doing the same thing. We're basically factory resetting this thing. This reset I don't think wipes data though, which is kind of cool, but be prepared that it could. It's always best to be prepared for that. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and hit start, and it's going to flash through 23 different items, and there was a little reboot you can see because it just flashed a bootloader. But like I was telling you, my device is unlocked and it says status code 3 right there. So my bootloader stays unlocked by doing this, so that's very, very cool. This does not reset your bootloader if it is unlocked. If you're locked, obviously it's not an issue for you, but and also if you have an unlocked bootloader, you can, after you do this update, flash recovery and still root your device. Okay? If you don't, if your bootloader's locked, then obviously you're going to lose root access when you do this update. But you know, maybe that's the cost of KitKat right now, and maybe in the future, hopefully, we'll have a root for KitKat, and it won't be a big deal. But that's where we're at this point. So right now we're on system. System does take 4 or 5 minutes probably to flash. It's number 13, and I'll probably just pause here, and we'll come back to it as it pushes through number 13 here and keeps going with the rest of the process. Alright, so here you go. We're flashing now 14 and 15. And from here, it should go through the last 8 or 10 here really pretty quickly. Those files are not very, very big files, so they should flash over. System is your biggest file. That's your entire operating system it's flashing. So that did take a good 5 minutes probably to flash, but not a real big deal. And you just saw a second ago it was flashing boot image, I think it was. So on this device, it does have the unlocked status at the boot, but if you're a locked bootloader, you won't see that. You'll just see the Motorola logo and then the boot animation. So, we're wiping cache right here, almost done. Erasing tombstones, and it is rebooting the device. So again, this logo you won't see unless you have an unlocked bootloader. Not a really big deal. I'm kind of proud of the logo though. It proves that I have an unlocked bootloader, so I kind of like it instead of seeing that Motorola on there. So classic boot animation. This thing's gonna boot. Actually, not too long. It does take a little bit because it's got to rewrite some stuff because it's the initial boot up here. And then the other thing you're going to notice here on the computer is your RSD light still says in progress, but once it's finished booting, and actually that booted insanely fast, it should say pass. So I went ahead and unlocked it, and let's just make sure it does fully function here. It takes a second, I know, to say pass, so just let's give it a sec. Well, I don't know, this thing's being a little fickle on me. It still says in progress, but it's not because you can fully see the device is booted. It probably just hasn't pulled it up. Might take a little bit to actually say it's fully finished. But at this point, really, it doesn't matter what's going on with the computer there, RSD Lite program, because it is done. So we can go ahead and close it. If it says finished, great. If you want to wait for it, fine. But at this point, it's really fine. You don't have any issues. You can close this program out. So I'm going to close it. It says yes, it's damaged device. No, it's fine. I can see it's booted, so I'm not worried about it. Alright, so that is done, and we've done all these steps. Here is Clockwork Mod Recovery for your device if it's unlocked and on KitKat, so we'll get back to that maybe in another video. So from here, you can actually unplug your device from the computer, because we're done with that side of it, and we need to get into recovery. So to get into recovery, you'll power off your device again. So we'll go ahead and do that. Like my sound effects, pretty sweet, huh? Alright, so again, we're going to hold volume up, volume down, power, try to get ourselves back into recovery. So scroll down once, and then scroll up for recovery. And again, you can see my unlocked bootloader status. And then we need to get into recovery from here. So what you're going to see here is a little Android guy on his side, and you're almost at recovery when you see that guy. What you got to do, it's really kind of a pain, is you just got to keep kind of pushing volume up and down at the exact same time a whole bunch of times until you get to this screen. Alright, so once we get on this screen, I know this is hard to see in the camera angle, but the first option is Reboot Recovery. The next option is Apply Update from External. So we put that OTA update on the external card. You saw me do it earlier. So you're just going to go ahead and hit power on that one to select it. And then you're just going to scroll down one, and it's actually listed right there. And then you're going to select it. And it's actually going to apply it right there. There's no more other like confirming the features or anything. It's just going to try to install this update. So hopefully once this is done, we will have KitKat on this device. Now, this update, I think this file's like 500 megabytes, something like that. It's a pretty good size file. Update is probably going to take a while, and I'm pretty sure it's actually going to do some reboots in the middle. So let's just watch this thing and see how it goes. So far, it's looking pretty good. Let's just keep our eyes on it. Now, I was looking at a thread on XDA about this and how it functions and how it updates. I'm pretty sure if you want to get into stock recovery again and do anything with it, there's a different method now to do that than you just saw me do once you get this new OTA update. But it is what it is. So let's just go ahead and watch this thing go through. Alright, so it just did some kind of a reboot. Not sure if it's done. It's going to reboot up and flash some more. I'm going to guess it's going to reboot and flash some more, but let's see what happens here. So, okay, so this is interesting. You went back to the recovery guy, and it's very, very, very dark and hard to see. But I think you need to get back into recovery again. Let me just pull up my post on the directions on this really quick. Install the OTA again. Okay, so if you get to here, you have to install the OTA update one more time. A little bit funky, right? So let's just go ahead and... So from here I was pushing volume up and down before. So now you have to push volume up and power at the same time, because we just updated our recovery. See if it'll go. Okay, so there you go. Now, I'm sorry how hard this is to see. It's actually this hard to see on the phone as well. So we're going to scroll down to apply update from SD card, right? Yeah, that's what I want. Hit power again, and then scroll down once. There's that update one more time, and hit power. And we're going to install this update again. And it's actually down here. Oh man, this is hard to see. It's installing it. So the first time you applied it, it actually just updated your recovery basically. And now it's going to do the full update. Man, I really, this is almost pointless to watch because I can hardly see it myself. But it is running through the update right now. So let's just keep an eye on it. I'm going to probably pause here until it starts doing something you can actually physically see. So we'll come back to it. But it looks like it is going through the initial install for KitKat down here at the bottom. Alright, so this thing's been on patching system files for 12 minutes almost, okay? So just be prepared that there's going to be a wait process in doing this OTA update, forcing it through recovery like we're doing. It's going to take some time. So from here it should move fairly quickly because that was basically like flashing system like we did in RSD Lite. It's the step that takes forever. Hopefully from here it shouldn't take too much longer. It says unpacking some new items, it looks like, but everything in the system should be patched, and then whatever they're adding new is going to now be flashed. So it's actually been so long, actually my screensaver's turned on twice now while I'm waiting, and boy am I impatient. So far we've had this process, me recording, has been about 30 minutes without any editing. So this is definitely going to take some time. By the time we're totally done, you're probably going to have 40 minutes of time just to apply this update and get everything functioning correctly for you. So if this is something you're not familiar with, something you don't normally do, I would highly recommend giving yourself 2 hours. Don't even start it unless you got 2 hours to tinker with this thing, because you may mess something up, you're going to have to redo it. You don't want to get your phone in a state that you can't fix it. Just you want to go through step by step and really understand what's going on. So definitely give yourself a bunch of time. So it is still says unpacking new files right now. So that's where we're sitting at. Like I said, this update's been running for like 14 minutes right now approximately. After we got into recovery that second time. So let's just keep watching this thing. Hopefully it'll finish up real soon here. So looking good so far. Just patching a couple more things, updating some stuff. It says updating logo, patching modem files. Okay, yeah, almost done. It's moving faster now. Erasing some stuff, updating a couple more things, and shabam, it actually finished. You can't even see it finished, but it did. So right now it says reboot system now. Everything looks like it went successfully, so I'm going to hit power, and that's going to boot us out of recovery, and we should be on our first initial boot of KitKat. There is the logo, which is very cool. It actually looks like it's taken away my unlock bootloader logo. This update has actually removed that. It should not have gotten rid of my actual unlock status, and if it did, I'm going to be really pissed, but we'll find that out later. So let's go ahead and just let this thing boot up here. Shouldn't take too long. It'll probably go through an Android is upgrading process after this boot animation, and then we should start up, and I can show you guys KitKat on the Droid Razr HD. So let's just give it a sec. So there you go. There is the Android or optimizing applications, or Android is upgrading. Looks like I have 203 to optimize, so I think it's going to be a little bit. Alright, upgrading is done. It's doing a couple, upgrading some other contacts and databases and stuff like that. Yeah, this thing is taking its sweet time. This is a long process for sure. Should be finishing boot, and we should hopefully boot up here in just a quick second. There we go. Very exciting. Go ahead and unlock it. Definitely looks very nice. Exactly, pretty much like it looked before, really. Very cool. Let's go ahead and check out your app, your settings, I should say. And we're gonna scroll down. Oh, so there is some different stuff in here now. Motorola device ID has been added. Motorola privacy, some different things in here. All right, that's just coming up because I don't have a SIM in it right now. It's not really a big deal. It'll go away. Go back out of this. Let's go ahead and go into here, and there it is, 4.4.2, which is KitKat. We'll click on it, get our little KitKat Easter egg, and shabam. So you do have official KitKat now. It's being a little laggy because it's a first boot here. I'm very impatient as also. So let's just really quick check out a couple quick things in here. Looks like it did keep my ES file browser, so it looks like it did keep my applications doing this process, so it didn't wipe anything out, which is cool. Even kept SuperSU, even though I know it doesn't actually have root access. See, it's going to tell you, yeah, I know SU binary is installed. So it looks like your applications are staying, which is very, very nice, and seems to be working okay. Definitely be playing with this thing. You can see some power toggles and stuff like that. Very cool. That's very nice. There you go. That's going to be how to get KitKat on your Droid Razr HD update. Even if you had done all kinds of modifications to it, this will wipe it all clean and get it back and running. Stay tuned, because I'm going to do a video on how to install custom recovery and root this device if your device is still unlocked. Actually, you know what? Let's check that really quick. One last thing, just for my own sanity. Let's go see if we have an unlocked bootloader or not. We should, according to what I've read. It shouldn't have changed that, but we're going to double check it anyway. So again, just do your volume up, volume down, power, and this should get us into the unlock screen. So then go down, AP Fastboot, volume up, and yes, we are good. It says device is unlocked status code 3, so no worries at all here. I'm going to go ahead and just hold power to power this thing back off and reboot it. So hope you guys like this video here on the Droid Razr HD, how to install KitKat, and even if you're on unlocked bootloader or you're rooted or anything like that, this will do everything. This will get you guys restored. Hope you guys like it, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Rootjunky out.